Well, through my career, I've learned that you just got to stay pitch to pitch. You can never let anything affect your next pitch. So when I get into jams like that, I just tell myself it's in the past, keep making pitches, and, good things will happen.
I think my fastball was what was working so well. I'd mix a few change-ups here and there. The slider was a little bit off. I wish I had a little bit better. Probably would have had more strikeouts with it, but the fastball got me through.
You want to hear more great quotes like that from Nolan Sparks, Tyler Prospero, and Skip Martinez? Well, the only way to do so is to continue to tune in to the official Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show starting right now. Good evening, and what a night it has been for your Batavia Muck Dogs. I am John Karuba. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And your Muck Dogs, they continue to roll here at Dwyer, and they sweep a doubleheader. It was so nice. They had to win twice, and they did, and they dominated, especially in Game 1, winning 8-1, and then 7-4 in the nightcap. For Batavia, especially as we are coming down the home stretch of the PGCBL season, these are crucial in-divisional matchups, and give the Muck Dogs a lot of credit because they are taking advantage, and again, they're able to exact more revenge on a Geneva team that beat them a couple weeks ago, but since then, your Muck Dogs have won 3 straight. Let's take a listen to how they got it done tonight in both games, in both Game 1 and Game 2, and as always, these game highlights presented to you by the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. With your Muck Dogs jumping out to a quick lead in the first inning.
Here comes the 1-2, and Canoe rips that into center field. Gets down for a base hit. Canoe with an RBI single. Scoring his lead-em, and moving up to second is Fry. So for Canoe, he just keeps on keeping on with an RBI single in the bottom of the first. Your first place Muck Dogs strike first. 1-0 over Geneva. And the 1-2, swung on, little blooper, gonna fall in to right field, down the line for a base hit. Brian Fry, come on down and score. Moving up to third, Canoe. Burroway pulls into second, and your Muck Dogs are playing station to station, but they are threatening to break it open early in the bottom of the first on an RBI loop double by Burroway. Batavia 2, Geneva Goose Egg. So righty on righty matchup here. Already 2 runs home in the bottom of the first. Batavia looking to add on, second and third, nobody out. And it looks like they will. Corso hits it on the ground to short. Routine play, throw to first in time, but coming on down the line to score, no problem there, is Tyler Canoe. And in the bottom of the first, give Corso an RBI. Batavia adding on and padding their lead. The Muck Dogs 3, Geneva no score. Now coming set. It'll be an 0-1 from Nolan. Swung on, chop left side. Lunging stop by Caleb All, but he's not going to have a play as he thought about making the throw to first, but would not have been nearly in time. Meanwhile, Ducks comes across the score for Geneva, and so they are fighting back here in the top of the second. Batavia 3, Geneva 1.
So after Geneva cut the deficit to just 3-1, give credit to your Muck Dogs. They were able to tack on some big insurance runs and were really able to put the game away to secure the Game 1 victory.
Fleming standing in from the right side of the plate against the righty. Josephson, they play in at first. Fleming hits it on the ground to third. Routine ground ball. Throw to first, gets past the first baseman. Down the right field line. So Trey Bacon, come on in to score. And moving on up to second is Mitch Fleming. And in the bottom of the fourth inning, Batavia gets their 3-run lead back. It's your Muck Dogs 4 and Geneva 1. And now the next pitch gets away from the catcher, Winnie. That's going to allow Fry to jog on home and score. Canoe moves up to second. Big time break for the Muck Dogs. When you're playing well, you get the breaks. Everything seems to go your way. At the bottom of the fifth, Batavia extends their lead. Muck Dogs 5, Geneva 1. As the second and third, 2 out, the pitch swung on. Lace to the gap, left center. That is trouble. Gonna roll all the to the left center field wall. Canoe scores. Burroway scores. Corso to third with the 2 out. Bases clearing triple. And in the bottom of the 5th, Batavia adds 2 more runs. Your Muck Dogs 7, Geneva 1. It's a blowout. And now it'll be a 2-1. And Bacon slams it into left field. Fair ball down the left field line. Corso scores standing up. Trey Bacon motoring into second with the Ribby double. And everybody loving it here at Dwyer now. They continue to pour it on. Your Muck Dogs 8, Geneva 1.
With a commanding 7-run lead in the top half of the 7th inning. Remember, they only play 7 innings per PGCBL rule in doubleheaders. Well, with your Muck Dogs in firm command 8-1, Tyler Henshaw was on to close it out, and the batter was McDermott.
So 0-2, 2 outs. Runner on first. Henshaw getting the set. The pitch, the 0-2. Swung on and missed. It's over. Strike 3 and your Muck Dogs wipe the floor with Geneva in game 1. They beat them soundly 8-1.
Normally, this would be the portion of the program where we would go to the interviews, but remember, we had to play 2 tonight against the Red Wings, so we will now drift in to the highlights for Game 2 between the Red Wings and your Muck Dogs, which once again resulted in a victory for your Muck Dogs, and once more, it was Batavia getting off to a strong early lead in the bottom of the 1st.
He'll stand in again left side. Tyler Canoe on deck. Here's the pitch. Fry swings, lifts that in the air left field, gonna get down for a base hit. So coming on down to score is Leadham, and standing on first with an RBI single is Brian Fry. And once again, as they did in game 1, they're doing in the nightcap. The Muck Dogs strike first, Batavia 1, Geneva no score in the bottom of the 1st. 0-2 and Corso hits it past, diving first baseman down the right field line. Not only does Canoe score, guess who comes behind him? Burroway. So 2 runs score standing up, and motoring to second is Kyle Corso, and it's a carbon copy start to game number 2 for the Muck Dogs. They now take a 3-0 lead over Geneva.
However, Geneva, after losing Game 1, were going to come back and fight as hard as they could, trying not to get swept. They had a strong answer in the top half of the 2nd, scoring a couple runs of their own.
It'll be a 2-2 on its way from Prospero. Swung on, grounded back up the middle. Oh, and it ricocheted off the pitcher, Prospero. Rodriguez jumped the rope from short to first, not in time. Gonna beat it out, so a run comes across to score. And Geneva gets on the board here in the top half of the 2nd. Batavia 3, Geneva 1. Pitch is swung on and dives. Third base, it can't come up with it. Rodriguez in short, throw to second in time as they get the out at first. But another run does come across to score. So it is going to be an RBI on the fielder's choice in the top of the 2nd inning. Now Batavia 3, Geneva 2.
But the Geneva rally did not stop there. They continued to fight back and eventually tied the score at 3 apiece.
Runner goes, pitch swung on, whacked in the air to left, falls in for a base hit, and then misplayed in left by Burroway, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. So the tying run is going to come in to score, and motoring all the way to third is Fleischer, and unfortunately, the Villains able to tie it up at 3 in the top of the 3rd, and in a blink of an eye, too, it looked like Prospero was rolling, and all of a sudden, we got a tie ball game.
But just when it seemed like Geneva was going to take over, their defense deserted them in the home half of the inning. And the Muck Dogs, to their credit, you got to give these guys credit for being resilient. A blown lead does not seem to bother them in the least. And heads-up base running combined with sloppy play by the Red Wings, allowed Batavia to score 4 unanswered runs and really take control of the ball game and get a doubleheader sweep.
And that pitch down and away, gets away from Ducks, and this time a run will score. Levi Aguilar scores the go-ahead run. Bacon jets up to third, and so they didn't even need a base hit there. They count now 3-1. They score on the wild pitch, bottom of the third. Batavia 4, Geneva 3. Oh, and it got away from the pitcher. What heads-up base running? Coming across to score on an absolutely inexcusable error by Geneva. Coming across to score is Trey Bacon. And in the bottom of the third, Batavia scored twice, and they didn't need a hit to do it either time. So Daniel Burroway with a chance to do it. Right side, swings it, I think it will. Cracks it high in the air to deep right. Going back, still going back. Right fielder who makes the catch. However, Brian Fry gonna jog on down. A nice Sunday stroll to the plate. Scores standing up. And RBI on the sac fly from Burroway. And in the bottom of the fourth, Batavia now has doubled Geneva on the scoreboard. Their second 3-run lead of the night. Batavia 6, Geneva 3. It'll be a 1-2 on its way. And did that hit him? I don't know. It looked like it clipped him. However, no signal yet. I think they're just going to call it a ball, but they're going to talk about it because the home plate umpire is motioning to the second base umpire. So right now, nobody knows nothing as they're still talking, and they say it did hit him, which is what it appeared to up here. Well, they agreed, so it's a hit by pitch and an RBI for Levi Aguilar. Scoring is Leadham, and in the bottom of the sixth, Batavia does tack on another key insurance run. And the bottom of the sixth, it's your Muck Dogs 7 and the Red Wings 3.
But once again, Geneva would not go down quietly into that sweet, quiet Batavia night. They would fight back as they got another run in their last half of the seventh to try and keep the game alive.
3-1 is grounded back up the middle, past the diving shortstop Rodriguez, into center field. Kump scores. And in the top of the seventh, Geneva still trying to fight, still trying to ruin the evening for the Muck Dog fans. And in the top of the seventh inning, now Batavia 7, Geneva 4.
So Geneva still threatening after getting that run, trying to muster together a game-tying rally with Michael Swanson, but not on Swanson's watch. He was the pitcher on the mound, and the batter was Jaffe with 2 outs in the top of the seventh, and Batavia looking to sweep.
Again, Swanson coming set. The 2-2. Swung on and missed! And there it is, folks! Your Muck Dogs sweep the doubleheader. They sweep Geneva right out of town. Batavia wins. Your final score tonight, 7-4 in favor of your Muck Dogs. Celebrate Batavia 22-10.
And that is how you take 2. If you're going to play a doubleheader, you may as well win both, right? And that's exactly what the Muck Dogs did. And these were 2 crucial victories. Remember, the Muck Dogs just moved into first place, sole possession of it in the PGCBL West Division by virtue of Utica falling to Mohawk Valley 12-9. And in addition to that, not only that, you continue to win. You've now won 7 straight games. And so you're in first. But Geneva was only 4 games back in the standings. And now by handing them these 2 blows, now they're 6 back. And you own the head-to-head tiebreaker. So 2 massively important victories for your Muck Dogs. Well, I've said how important it is. Now let's hear from the locker room on just how important they thought it is. You are going to hear from Nolan Sparks. You're going to hear from Skip later in the interview segment, but we're going to begin with the Game 2 starter and winner, Tyler Prospero. Here with Tyler Prospero, the starter and winner in Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader, getting the win 7-4 against Geneva. And Tyler, first off, congrats on the win. You were very good tonight. Got out of a couple jams, made big pitches. When you're in those types of situations, how are you able to find it within yourself to make the pitches to get the outs?
Well, through my career, I've learned that you just got to stay pitch to pitch. You can never let anything affect your next pitch. So when I get into jams like that, I just tell myself it's in the past, keep making pitches, and, good things will happen.
And, what else was worried as far as, you were able to go 6 of the 7 innings. You gave them distance. You pitched and fed off what Nolan Sparks was able to do in Game 1. What was working for you tonight that allowed you to go that distance?
Slider felt good. I was landing that late in the game when I really needed to, which was good. And fastball had some good life to it. And honestly, it's just easy when we have a ton of studs out there. We got 9 guys that are just really good at baseball. Nolan threw another great game today. He's been amazing. We got 2 really, really good coaches, so it's easy when they give me the ball. It's just second nature.
If you're going to play 2 games, you may as well win them both, right,
yes,
Tyler?
Yes, sir. You know the vibes, man.
So you guys continue to win here at Dwyer. You guys now have won 4 in a row here, and your pitching has really rounded into shape again like they were early in the season. You saw what Josh did the other night, and as a pitcher, when you guys keep going out there, do you guys feed off each other when you see one guy have a great performance, or what's that dynamic like?
Absolutely, man. Murphy had a crazy good outing the other day, and I just fed off that energy. And Nolan, I throw right after him, and he's been amazing all year. So it's just been it's almost like you feed off that energy, and you don't want to be the guy to not do well. So you keep on, doing well, and you don't want to be the guy that mess up. So you just execute your pitches, man. And it's been a pleasure. I really like playing with these guys. And
you guys scored 15 runs in this 2-game sweep. You scored 8 in the first game, 7 tonight. When your offense is clicking the way that it is, as a pitcher, what's it like going out in support of it?
It's great. Run support's always huge as a pitcher. Our bats are on fire. We can swing it on any pitcher in this league. We showed that tonight, and it's just amazing to see these guys and their approach. We got so many hitters that have gotten so much better throughout the course of the season based on how they're seeing the ball and their approach with Skip, working with them before the game and whatnot, because he's got a ton of baseball knowledge, obviously, playing high up with the Tigers organization, and it's just really been a blessing. So.
And, you guys now are 22-10. You guys continue to take care of business at home against divisional opponents. And you guys now are in first place in the West Division. How important do you think it is handling all these divisional opponents as we're down to the final couple weeks of the regular season?
It's great because, you set the tone that we're the team to beat, and, we're the top dogs, and no one's going to come into Dwyer and beat us. That's just plain out, flat and simple. This is our house. We protect it. We've been really good on the road, too. This weekend's going to be huge. We got 3 road games coming up, so we really need to take care of business there. And it's just been a blessing playing with these guys, man. Like I said, great coaches, great atmosphere, great teammates, and I'm looking forward to the end of the season.
And last thing, 22-10. How do you think you guys take what you've been able to do here at home? Now you got to go do it on the road. That's been just a little bit more of a challenge. How do you think you guys go out there and do that?
Oh, we just show up, every day and keep playing ball. We got the guys to do it. We're healthy. We got to stay healthy. We got to make sure we focus on rest, recovery. We got a lot of guys that are dedicated to the weight room, dedicated to their running, getting their bodies right. And, it's just a long haul. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So, and we're getting to the end. We're getting there, and we just got to keep executing. And with Skip and Coach Eaton at the helm, the ship is getting steered in the right direction for sure.
Words of wisdom from the veteran Tyler Prospero. You're a winner in Game 2 tonight. On that note, Tyler, congratulations. Congrats on the win. You were excellent. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for the time, man. I really appreciate what you guys do. And Muck Dogs faithful, Muck Dogs Mafia for life.
Here with Game 1 winner of tonight's doubleheader. We just heard from the Game 2 winner, Tyler Prospero. Now we're with Nolan Sparks, who won Game 1. And Nolan, 5 2/3, but after really you were cruising for the most part. What was working so well for you today?
I think my fastball was what was working so well. I'd mix a few change-ups here and there. The slider was a little bit off, which I had a little bit better. Probably would have had more strikeouts with it, but the fastball got me through.
When Skip came out to take you out of the game, were you really hoping he was going to give you maybe a little bit longer of a leash there, given the way that you were performing at that time?
Yeah, of course. I always want to stay in, and he respects that I kind of fight to stay in. He likes to have pitchers kind of fight to keep on pitching. But I understood why he took me out. I was a little bit up in pitches just because of that second inning.
Your offense backed you up, 8 runs. They really went to work, and again, they just continue to do it. You guys as a whole here at Dwyer, but Tyler was great in game 2. What did you think of him tonight?
Tyler was great. That second inning was really tough for him. He still pitched really well. He got little squib hits here and there, so they just got really lucky. But other than that, Tyler pitched a gem, so it was great.
Overall, now you guys are 22-10. You guys moved into first place in the West Division last night. And, overall, you guys have been through some ups and downs this season. But through it all, here you are most of the way through the season in first place in the West Division. What do you think? What do you attribute that the most to your team's overall success?
The team's success comes through the backbone with pitching. Obviously, as a staff, we have to really support our hitters and give our hitters confidence that they can stay relaxed up at the plate, just kind of swing away. So when our pitchers do well, our hitters end up doing well. So we just got to keep doing that.
And, you really got on a roll then, even after calls. So what allows you to settle it in and, you're able to pitch well even in front of the home crowd? Like, what's it like pitching here as opposed to pitching on the road?
It's great pitching here. Great to know that the crowd is supporting you. And I don't really feel much pressure because all you want to do is really have fun, enjoy the moment, and just take it all in. So it's just relaxing and just staying focused what gets you through.
You guys now have some big road games coming up this weekend. How do you think you guys need to take what you did at home and now transfer it over onto the road?
Well, you just need to do the same thing, except just kind of like tune out the crowd. Here you can kind of like listen to the crowd a little bit because they get behind you, and just on the road games, you just kind of tune it out and just go right back to business.
Last thing here for you, Nolan, obviously Geneva, what they were able to do to you guys like a couple weeks ago, but the way you have bounced back against them, the way you performed in this doubleheader today, throughout the team, how satisfying do you think it is to be able to handle them the way you now have had since that rough ninth inning a couple weeks ago?
It's great to handle the team, especially because they're in fourth place, not too far back. We got to separate ourselves from the rest of the division. So in-division play, which I think we have for the rest of the season, is going to be huge. We just got to win those games, keep people out from chasing us, and hopefully Utica keeps on losing.
And, it's like they say, if you're going to play two, you may as well win both, right?
Yep, exactly.
All right. And on that note, Nolan, thank you very much for the time. Congrats on the win. And, really, congrats on both wins.
Thank you.
Here was Skip Martinez following his team's doubleheader sweep of the Geneva Red Wings. And Skip, first of all, hey, if you're going to play two, you may as well win them both, right?
Absolutely. Guys did a great job today. We needed those two. Those were big wins.
And to be able to do it against Geneva, after what they did a couple weeks ago in here, you guys have had no problems taking care of them since. What do you think that means for this ball club, especially because they're one of the teams in your division?
Yeah, I think our team, we talk about, we try to learn from losses, and I think our guys do a really good job at that, especially our pitching staff. We got some scout, we have our own scout reports on some of those hitters, and our pitchers are pitching those guys accordingly. So the adjustments that we make are really what stands out to me. Our pitching staff is really cognizant and conscious of it. So they're doing a great job of that. And, so these two games were huge, and our guys stepped up to the plate today.
And as far as Trey goes, he had an alert base running play in the second game when the pitcher didn't realize that the ball was still alive, and he took advantage of that. Looked like he left that team in the dust, and half the people were confused. What was it like watching that play?
That's just a heads-up play, paying attention and, being focused in the game. So that was heads up by Trey. And also to Trey, Trey's been swinging it really well for us lately too, so he's been kind of a spark for us.
And as far as, you got great starts from Tyler Prospero and Nolan Sparks. What'd you think of your pitching staff today in this doubleheader sweep?
They did exactly what we thought they were going to do. Those are some of our two best guys that go out there. And when they go out there, man, everybody feels good about it. They give us a shot. So they're a big part of what we've been doing.
Was there any thought, I know when you came out to take Nolan out in game one, he might have been a little disappointed. Any thought to maybe having him go a little longer there, or did you pretty much have your mind set you're going to take him out?
No, that was it. He was at his pitch count, and that was it for me. his health is way more important. He did a good job. I felt the game was in hand, and I felt the guy that was coming out the bullpen was going to do the job. And so that was it. We made that decision, and that's how it rolls.
You guys put up 15 runs in the doubleheader sweep. Your lineup was just really clicking. And in both games, you scored 3 runs in that home half of the first. It seems like when you guys play well here at home, that's the type of thing we continue to see. And how good is it to see as a manager, and what do you think, what do you attribute that to, being able to score those 6 runs in the 2 first innings today?
I think those guys are going to the mindset of, the kind of stuff we preach around here is attack early and often. Let's not get to pitches. And so our hitter's been adjusting with that daily. Ever since we went on a run about 5-6 games ago with the 11-12 hits a game, I think our guys are attacking and hunting fastballs, and I think that really helps our lineup throughout 1 through 9, 1 through 10.
And Michael Swanson in game 2 had to come in, close it out, and had a little bit of a jam, but then all of a sudden just settled right in. Got a couple big strikeouts of their key hitters, which you know how dangerous they are. Yeah. For him to be able to dig deep and do that, as a manager, how impressive is that, and what is going through your mind when that's happening?
I mean, that's why we bring him in for that situation. We feel he has stuff to match up against those guys. And, when he gets that fastball over, his breaking ball is a little bit more effective. And once he settled in, that's exactly what he did. He started mixing up his pitches really well, got ahead with the fastball, and then, hit the breaking ball, and then threw some fastballs by a couple guys. So, when he starts mixing it up like that, he's going to be really good for us, and he's been good for us all season.
You now have a 6-game lead on Geneva, and not only that, you guys moved into first last night with your win down in Elmira, and in combination with Utica losing. I know that the season's not over yet. You still have more work to do. But one of the things you have continuously preached is trying to win the division, to put yourself in a position where now that's right in front of you. Yeah. As a manager, how proud are you of this team for at least getting even to this point?
Again, super proud. That's the goal that we came into the season with, with the roster that we have, the players that we have. And, any manager, any team is, that's what the ultimate goal is winning. It's win the division, get into the dance, and then let's see where the chips fall. But I think our guys are really focused on that. I think if we win the division, we're just looking at it as a point of, if we get the division, the first 2 rounds are at home, and that gives us an advantage. And that's kind of advantage that we want. So, that's what we're striving for. If we can win that division, we get the first 2 rounds at home, and that's a big plus for us because we play well here.
Yes, you certainly do. As a broadcaster, I can attest to that, how well you guys play. But you guys are going to have some road games coming up over the weekend. Yeah. How do you capture the energy that you guys and the intensity you guys seem to play with here and now take that out on the road this weekend?
That's always going to be tough. But, our guys are getting tired, getting a little beat up. So we got to find a way on the road this weekend. And, again, our guys are ready. Our guys are going to be ready to go out there. All we got to do is keep doing what we've been doing. Whether we're home or away, we just got to pitch well, hit well, play some defense, and the chips, when we do those things, we like our chances. So we just got to keep doing that.
Last thing, Skip, the crowd was pumped up. You got the doubleheader sweep. Tyler Nolan came out, especially Tyler addressed Muck Dog Mafia. Any shout out you'd like to make to them right now?
Of course, man. Muck Dogs Nation and Mafia. The Muck Dog Mafia, they support us all season long. They came out in a pretty good crowd tonight for DWI, prevention night. So that's huge. That was a great cause. So every year we look forward to that event. So the fans came out. I mean, for us to win 2 games in front of this crowd today was huge. And the buzz is going around the stadium that we're in first place, and everybody's stopped watching now. Utica lost again tonight, and so our fans are into it really good. So I think again, that's why it's crucial for us to win the division and play at home, because we need this support, we need this fan base behind us. It's like that, the extra man, and that helps our guys a lot.
And on that note, Skip, thank you so much, and go Muck Dogs.
Go Muck Dogs.
We certainly hope that you enjoyed those post-game interviews. As always, part of the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. Now, before we wrap things up here on this double-header night for your Muck Dogs, want to give you a tour around the PGCBL. Newark taking down Niagara by a final count of 8-5. Amsterdam just continues to keep on rolling, 8-2 over Mohawk Valley. Watertown beating Utica again, 6-4. Boy, the Blue Sox, for as great of a start as they got off to, They are really hitting the skids now. Saugerties beating Oneonta 5-3. And downstate, it was Auburn taking down the Pioneers 3-1. Of course, your Muck Dogs going to be in Elmira on Saturday night. And we will have the coverage for you beginning at 7 o'clock on the Muck Dogs Baseball Network. So with that, let us take a look now at the standings before our preview of the next game. And in the West Division, for your Muck Dogs, they now have the largest lead of the season in the West Division, up 2.5 games on Utica. Utica now 23-14 after losing 7 of 10, while your Muck Dogs heating up at the perfect time down the home stretch. They've won 8 of 10 with a record of 24-10. Very, very good. They now have a 5.5 game lead on Auburn and 6, as mentioned before, on Geneva. So that's a look at the standings. And now we will preview what's ahead for your Muck Dogs. They're going to play Jamestown on Sunday, and then back here next week at Dwyer Stadium. Monday night going to be 7-1-6 night in the building, as they will take on the Cortland Crush in an out-of-league matchup. Following that, they will host the Tarp Skunks once again. And for Batavia, the key going forward, you're going to get more divisional opponents. You're going to be at home a lot. This is really the time to put the pedal to the metal. Just continue to find ways to grind out victories, because you're going to be facing some teams now that are going to be playing pretty desperately as we head down the last week and a half of the regular season. Hard to believe it's gone by that fast, but it's true. So again, Batavia, they just have to keep playing with the same intensity that they have done so over the last couple weeks, and they should be where they want to be when all is said and done. And that's a preview of what's ahead. Again, part of the Muck Dogs postgame show. And with that, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show. It's been a long night, but a rewarding one for Batavia, as they get a sweep of the Geneva Red Wings. They win both games. They win 8-1 in game 1 and 7-4 in game number 2, and are now 24-10 on the season with a huge 2.5 game lead over second place Utica in the division. We'll be back on the air with you at Dwyer Stadium on Monday night as your Muck Dogs take on the Cortland Crush for a 7 p.m. first pitch. Until then, for everybody here at Dwyer Stadium, I am John Karuba. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, your Muck Dogs win the doubleheader sweep over Geneva by final counts of 8-1 and 7-4. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again on Monday night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Your Muck Dogs win 2. Thank you for listening to today's presentation of Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball and this edition of the Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show. Tune into the next exciting telecast to catch everything exciting with your Muck Dogs on the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network.